Hi, Lauren. Thank you
Hi.
for joining us today. I hope that you have an amazing morning. As you know, we recently ran a Reshape Summit. I believe it was one of the key digital events this summer. And we would like to know our speakers a bit better. So I have a list of questions to you, very interesting questions, not ordinary ones. But before we start, can you please introduce us? Can you please introduce yourself and briefly tell us about you and your company?
Yeah, sure. So thanks for inviting me. Very glad to be with you today and this morning. So my name is Laurent. I'm 30 years old. I'm working at Fabernovel, which is a consulting company like focusing on innovation and digital. And I'm leading the marketing consulting team. So basically, my job with my team is to help multinational companies run their develop their marketing strategy and run them. So I've joined Fabernovel like 4 years ago, and before that I've worked at Google, specifically on B2B marketing, so evangelizing big companies and trying to get them online. And then yeah, very glad to be here today.
That is quite an experience. I'm going to ask you something very interesting. And before we start, when we were preparing for this interview, we posted our, let's say, like the poster of our interview, and we have a really interesting picture with Elton John. What's the story behind it?
So Elton is a friend of mine. He used to come at home. No. So basically, it was a like a classic story. Like I was in a wax museum with some friends in Paris. It's called the Musée Grévin, and I saw the Elton on the piano, and I wanted to share the vibe and the piano with him. So I I went beside him, and someone took a photo of him with me. So yeah, it was a fun session. And
Oh,
in fact, I'm a singer. So I used to sing in a rock band for a few years. So basically, I like the music, and it's specifically Elton John, of course.
you should send this picture to Elton. Maybe he will invite you to one of his concerts and you're going to sing together. That would be awesome. Something unexpected.
Exactly.
Okay, so talking about something unexpected. So tell me, what is your Ikigai? What is the reason that you jump out of bed every morning?
That's a good question. Honestly, I didn't know specifically this word ikigai. I would say like two ways of answering to your question. Like literally, I'm jumping out of bed for two main reasons on my weeks. The first one is to do some sports. I love like running early in the morning, especially in Paris when the streets are very empty. I have the chance to live in the city center, so I can run along the Seine, the river. So that's beautiful. So that's one of the reason I'm jumping out of bed to like get this moment of course. Solitude and trying to think about my day and my week. And the second one is more like I love getting a daily routine in the morning, and I love listening to the radio. So basically and literally, I'm like jumping out of bed to be on time to listen to the flash news at like 7 or 8, depending on the time I'm waking up. But like this is more the literal the literal answer, and the more maybe philosophically, I would say that I'm trying to every morning to think about all the positive things that would happen during the day, even it's a hard day, but more what I will like try to learn personally, what I will try to learn at work, and it helped me getting out of bed with a positive mood, I would say.
That sounds actually so romantic that you get up in the morning, go to sunny Paris, run over there alone next to the river, and then listen to the radio. Such a old school and classy, but all the way so sounds so romantic. I believe that's one of the best ways to start a day. Actually, that's really good. I'm trying to do the same. Besides listening to the radio, I'm more like the modern one right now. Okay. What do you think? What movie character best represents you and why?
This was this one was honestly a tough question, and I thought about it a little bit because like this past hours, and I would say that I don't know if you know Charles Xavier from X-Men.
I do.
Which is the guy with the with the wheelchair, and I would say that maybe it can represent like myself, because he's a hero, but he's not the show-off hero like for example I don't know, Wolverine or all the other like a superhero. Is more like the one that is the true humanist. He loves people. He loves sharing his knowledge about like the superpower. And I think to make the superhero better and more like positive, with a positive force. So I think it's representing me well, the thing of sharing, the thing of being here for people. So that's why I think this character is representing me the best.
That's really nice. A hero in the shade somewhere over there. That's modesty is actually one of the gifts, and I do value what you just said. Like that really sounds amazing. Okay, so what app could you not live without, and also why?
Of course, you can like I could talk about all the classic apps, the communication apps that you need, especially in this time, because you don't have any like that much physical interaction, but more virtual interactions. But I will talk about another app that is less, I would say, conventional, but I could not live with an app which is the name is Rain Today, and in fact this app predicts the weather and the rain in the next hour. And maybe you could wonder why I couldn't live with this app, because like I used to bike every day. I'm biking to go to work, to travel in the city. So I'm using my bike like 30 365 days a year. So every day of the year I'm using the bike, while it's raining, it's snowing, it's winding, like every day. And I need this app, in fact, to be able to predict when it's gonna rain or not, because of course it's better when it's not raining when you're biking. So Rain Today is definitely one of the apps I couldn't live without, especially in Paris where it's raining a little bit.
So actually, well, if you still need to go to work or go somewhere and you know it's going to rain, at least you're going to prepare yourself morally, like, okay, I'm ready for the rain, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, or I could postpone my travel maybe for 20 or 30 minutes to be able to escape from the rain.
Actually, that's so good that you have a chance to use a bike and go to work, not using by public transportation or like car, but going bike. Also, you're running, biking. I believe that sports is really one of the key things in your life. Well, it turns out to be like a sport.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. Okay, so you said that you're 30 years old right now, and if you look back at yourself, at your younger self, what advice would you give to your 21 years old self, if any?
Yeah, that's a good one. When I was 21, I was just at the beginning, in fact, of my like not the real beginning, but the beginning of my student life. In fact, like it's been like 3 years that I were in the postgraduate post high school studies, and I would say that I would say to myself, to my 21-year-old, like enjoy your business school years, because definitely it was years of like freedom and consciousness. Like it was honestly the year when you're only thinking about like socializing with people, having fun, and of course life is fun afterwards and after the business school. But these years are shaping, in fact, your personality, the way you're seeing your life and your career. And I would say, and I enjoy it at every moment, but I would say, like, enjoy it like the most, because afterwards you will have like other moment of life, but not that freedom that you had in this part of your life.
I so feel you. Actually, that's that's really good advice, because I really agree with you. That years when you're studying, when you're still young, you don't have that many responsibilities yet, and you have everything ahead, like all the life ahead you. Really, you need to take every bit of this time and enjoy it as much as possible. I so understand you over here. Okay, so what is the harshest feedback that you've ever received, if anything comes to your mind?
Mm. I would say that the feedback in itself was not that harsh, but it was more the context. At this time, I worked at Microsoft. It was I worked at launching Windows Phone, which was the operating system from Microsoft, the partnership with Nokia that they did on the French market, so launching it. So I was in the product marketing team, and honestly, it was my first real professional experience. So I spent 1 year there. It was on my gap year, and it was one of the time of my life where like I worked the most. I think like 20 hours a day during like months during the launch, almost no break. So it was like very intense, and we were like just a little team. And my manager one day told me that it was just not enough. And honestly, this feedback was not that harsh in itself, but given the context, it was very hard, because like I think if you're asking someone who's worked with me or who's working with me right now, I think one of the things that they could say about me is that like I'm a hardworking person. I'm very like passionate about my work. I'm very like dedicated to my work and to the company. And getting this feedback was very like very hard. And I think one of the lessons that I learned from this period was the communication with your manager and with the people you're working with is like very key. Being able to highlight all the good work that your team is doing is very like a key in your career, because otherwise it can be very like ungrateful. You can do like very like impactful thing, and like people maybe don't know this. So the communication in your work is like for me is quite key. And being able to highlight the person that you have in your team, highlight the good work that they're doing and the impact that they have on the business.
I see. Actually, indeed, I can totally understand why that feedback could be not the harshest, but very impactful. So at that time, you got that feedback from your leader. Right now, you are a leader. So what was the biggest leadership challenge that you faced, and how did you deal with it?
I think it was quite recent because, in fact, I created a new team beginning of the year in my company, and so I recruited a few people within this team to launch a new offer at Fabernovel, and it was just at the time. So when I created the team, when the COVID happened, and I think it was one of the like toughest periods from my like very young career, but it was very like tough to create a cohesion between people, keeping the team motivated and united when you're away and when you need to work remotely. So I think it was the maybe the biggest leadership challenge that I faced, because you needed at the same time to create new team routines. You needed to create new dynamic. You needed to keep people motivated, like personally, and it was very hard because of the context, because it was very people were anxious with the situation, for sure. So it was, I think, it was the biggest leadership challenge for me.
By the way, talking about COVID and this difficult times, what are your predictions for this new normal, for this digital world 2.0?
In fact, I have a lot of predictions. I've wrote a study with some colleagues about it, and I presented it at Reshape Summit a few weeks ago. So I think I could talk about it like for hours. But I would say that if I chose some predictions, I would say that for sure the social distancing will have a strong impact on our different way of life. It will have an impact first maybe on the usage of technologies, because many usages will be like virtualized. If you're thinking about, for example, the beauty industry, you could few months ago try product in store. Right now you can't, because of the context, because of the social distancing, the hygiene measures. So this kind of usage have been virtualized, and now you can have on some websites a virtual try-on for the makeup. So for example, L'Oreal launched their virtual try-on tool with the Modiface, which is the name. So you can literally try the makeup on your face using technology directly from your smartphone or your computer. So it will have the social distancing for sure have an impact on the usage of technologies, the mobile payment, etc. It will have an impact also, I think, on the working and the living spaces, because you will not have anymore the same work offices. You will need to have 1 meter distance. So how can you get this 1 meter distance in an open space? So I think there is a lot of thinking about the new way of building work offices, but also stores, because that's the same in store. You can you can't touch the product like you did before. You can try the product. You can't try a lipstick, for example. So it will reshape for sure the store, and in fact, digital will become also, with the social distancing, I think, a barrier to entry for many commerces, many shops, and especially the small ones that were not that digital. When you're thinking about, I don't know, your small shop down the street that were closed during the COVID. For sure, they needed to be online, so people can order online and just pick their food. So digital will become for sure like all these commerces, all these shop all these businesses will need to be online to exist tomorrow.
So taking all this into account, what are your hopes for the future, for like globally, not only about business, but like how will people adapt to these new realities, and will these small local businesses survive or not? I hope that they will, of course. But what are you thinking about that?
Like my hope globally, and not it's not like that business related. It's more like a general context, but I hope that we'll finally realize that it is now or never, because for me the crisis was a warning, in fact, that we need to act right now. We just had a full week of heat wave in Paris, and we had like a 38 degrees in the shadow. So when it was like more than 40 degrees, it was horrible in this kind of city when it's very very dense, in fact, because you have you have a lot of buildings, you have a lot of people. And it's only the beginning. So I'm honestly hoping that politics and governments will take serious actions to, of course, for sure, help these small businesses to go online. And I think also the private companies like ours have a role to play in this kind of battle. But more about the business, I hope that politics and government will take serious action to limit the consumptions and limit the global warming. So I'm hoping that it will change our way of life, of consuming, more local, for example, traveling. We need to travel that much tomorrow for work, for example, when we saw that working remotely worked basically. So I really hope that we will realize that it is like now or never.
That's a good one. So I told you that I'm going to have some interesting questions. So can you please tell me one weird fact about you?
Yeah, I think I have some weird fact, but I have one which is related to the Elton John photo, I would say. So my
Okay.
right now. In fact, I used to sing in the shower a lot. But hopefully I took hopefully for my girlfriend I took some lessons, and so it's not that I hope it's not that bad. But yeah, every time I'm on the shower, I'm singing. I don't know why, like it's unconscious, but yeah, that's one of the read facts about me.
That is actually great. Singing music gives such a positive tune to the day, to everything. You go for a run, then you listen to the radio, you go to the shower. Seriously, one of the best ways to start the day. I totally support you. I love this weird fact about you.
Yeah, I'm going to the shower, so after the sport, for sure.
Well, yeah, sure. So, to sum it up, what is your motto in life?
I would say you only live once, because I think I'm trying to enjoy the present, enjoy every moment. But I also checked when I had this question. I also checked for some inspiration, for sure. in the internet, and I found one that I think is matching very well my state of mind, which is a life spent helping others is a life filled with purpose. So I think it's quite related to the to the fact that I love being here for people, trying to share my experience, my knowledge, and trying to make people like better.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So, Lauren, thank you very much for being with us today. It was really interesting talking to you. I loved your answers. I would like to know you better, and I will check the lecture that you had for Reshape, because I want to check the predictions that you gave for the business, and I hope that everybody will as well. So once again, thank you very much, and have a good day. And I hope see you around when everything's going to be stable and people will be able back to travel. I hope that we'll meet someday.
Yeah, clearly. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for the interview. It was quite fun, and thanks for the questions. So have a good day, and see you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.